and I am going to mark the attendance. So make sure that you are here. If I call your name three times and if you're not here, then I won't be able to give you the attendance. Okay, so make sure that you wait till the very end. And if there is any specific reason, maybe we can discuss about that later. Okay, so in coordinate geometry, the part that I want to discuss is first we can recall, we can give a summary, right? We can discuss a summary. So, well, in coordinate geometry, the first part that we need to know is the formulas. So, the very first formula that we need to know is the gradient formula, right? So, the gradient formula that we have is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is the gradient formula, the very first formula that we need to know. Now, apart from this one, we need to know the equation of the straight line, the formats. The first format that we learned, it was y equal mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. I think all of you, almost all of you, will be familiar with this form. We discussed about this form and we discussed about one of the other forms, which is y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1. Okay, we discussed about this, and this is the format that I would really like to master. I mean, to learn. Okay, so here the ones that I have highlighted, they are the ones where you have to substitute into. One is m. In here, you have to substitute the gradient and x1, y1. These are the coordinate. Okay. Well, at least one coordinate we have to know if we are to find the equation of a straight line. So let me just go through a simple example. So let's say, for example, if we have the coordinate 4, comma 5, and if we have the gradient m is equal to 2. Okay, so if you are to find the the equation of the straight line in the form y equal to mx plus c, for example, let's say we got y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, I'll just substitute the information that I know. Like in this case, I know that y it's equal to 5, okay, and then m it's equal to 2, x it's equal to 4 plus c. Okay, so 5 is equal to 8 plus c. C is equal to 5 minus 8, which is equal to minus 3. So if we are to rearrange this, we are going to get 2x minus 3, right? This is in the form y equal to mx plus c. So in some of the questions, I may ask you to calculate the equation of straight line in the form y equal to mx plus c. This is one part. Okay. The the other part is the second equation format. If we are using the second equation format, that is y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1, this one, we can substitute the information into y1, x1, and m. Okay. So if I were to substitute into those, first I need to replace y1 by 5 and the gradient by 2 and x1 by 4. Okay. The good thing about the second formula, the good thing about it is you don't necessarily need to calculate the constant c separately like we did in the first method here. In the first method, you are supposed to calculate the constant c as you can see, right? But in the second method, you don't need to calculate the constant c because rearranging the formula will give you the constant c automatically. Okay, so we can expand them. So y minus 5 equal to 2x minus 8 and y is equal to 2x minus 8 plus 5. Y is equal to 2x minus 3. And you can see clearly in the second method, we are getting the same answer, y equal mx plus c, the same thing. We use two different methods to get the answer. And there is another format that you need to be familiar with, which is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So, okay, so I'm going to take one example from the worksheet that I gave. Then from that, I will do one question. Okay, let's recall that one. For those who already know the ideas about gradient, these things are, it's going to be very, very simple. Okay, there is nothing much really into it. Just we are trying to recall the stuff that we learned before. Okay, that's what we are trying to do. So the line L1 has an equation 3x plus 5y minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, that was the equation. This is the equation, and if we just rearrange this, making y the subject, you are going to get the gradient, right? In this form, you cannot take the gradient because the coefficient of x, it is not the gradient in this case. Okay, you have to make y the subject from the equation that we got. So in part A, we have 3x plus 5y minus 2. This was the equation. But this format is the format which is written in the form ax plus by plus c equal to 0, right? That format won't give you the gradient. The gradient is found using the second format. The second format is the y equal mx plus c format. So we have to make that subject. I'll take the two terms to the other side. First of all, I took minus 2 and then I took 3x, so it will be minus 3x, right? Then what we can do is we can divide them by 5 like this. Okay. So after making y subject, then you can take the gradient in this case, which is minus 3 by 5. So for this line, that is line L1, the gradient is minus 3 by 5. Okay, that is the gradient. So that is the answer for the first one. Okay, you just need to rearrange this, make y subject. Once you make the y subject, you are going to get the gradient here and also the y-intercept. But here the question is not asking us to get the y-intercept, so we don't bother about it. Okay, now the second part, the line L2. is perpendicular to L1. So, okay, what do we mean by two lines being perpendicular? Can you tell me? Anyone can write in the comment section, or you can tell me. What do we mean by two lines being perpendicular? What is the general rule that we need to apply when two lines are perpendicular? I am waiting for an answer. You can tell me.
Their gradients are opposite.
Their gradients, it will be negative reciprocal to each other, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that is fine. So that is the basis of it. You just need to use -1 and divide the gradient from it. You get the answer for that. Okay, so here we have -3/5, so we can use the gradient of a line L1 to get the gradient of line L2. Okay, so let's consider a diagram. I think it will be easy for you to get it. So these are the two lines. Let's assume that they are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so this one is -3/5, and this one is 5/3. Okay, so how did I get 5/3? I got 5/3 because I used -1 and divided the gradient. So it will get negative reciprocal. That's what you have to do in perpendicular gradient. Okay, so you can clearly see that I have interchanged um, the denominator and the numerator. Okay, in this case. So if I interchange the denominator and the numerator, you can clearly see. And also I have put a positive sign there because the sign will change. Okay, so you can see that the negative sign it changed to a positive sign in this case. Okay, now we can use one of the equations that we learned since we already know the perpendicular gradient. The perpendicular gradient here is 5/3. Okay, and we can use the equation of straight line, which is this. Okay, and the coordinate that we have, the coordinate in this case that we have is 3 comma 1. So we can just substitute into the correct positions. Okay, do not substitute into y, do not substitute it into x. You have to substitute these into y1 and x1. So we substitute there, substitute gradient into m. Okay, so you can see that I substituted it into -1, -3. I have substituted it into the gradient. Then what we can do is we can expand it on the other side. So now we are just rearranging it. We get this answer here. So this is a common idea that you can use to get the equation of the straight line. Okay. All right, so I have showed you one question. Now I'm going to show you another equation to try. Okay, this question you can try on your own, and I want you to write your answers in the comment section. Okay, so you can try this question and let me know the answer in the comment section. For part A, you don't need to write any answer in the comment section because you just need to prove it. Okay, just substitute the x coordinate and prove that it is equal to the y coordinate. I'm interested in the second part, how you do it. Okay, just let me know the answer that you're getting for that one. So what are the answers that you are getting for the second part? Please write the answers in the comment section. Okay, then only I will know, right? Just do this question, please, fast. Question B. So, what is the answer there? What is the gradient first that you need to use in this? The gradient that you need to use here is minus 2, right? But the perpendicular gradient that you will get will be 1 over 2. Okay, and then use the coordinate. Okay, let me try them. So in this case, we know that the perpendicular gradient, since the original gradient is minus 2, the perpendicular gradient is 1 over 2. Okay, negative reciprocal. So we will get 1 over 2 in this case. Alright. So here use y minus y1 equal to n times x minus x1. So y minus y1 is the y coordinate. So the y coordinate here that we got is minus 1. The the gradient is 1 over 2, and then x1 is 3. So this is the equation that we get. So y plus 1 equal to half x minus 3 by 2. We have to cancel the fractions, so I have to multiply 2 to the equation. So you get 2y plus 2 equal to x minus 3. And then I will take all the terms to the right side, which will be x plus 2y, which is going to be x minus 2y minus 3 minus 2 equal to 0. So we have x minus 2y minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, so this is how you will get the answer. So here the focus is we are not writing it in the form y equal to mx plus c. Instead, we are writing it in the form, the second format, which is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Okay. Now tomorrow also I will do some of the questions. Just I think maybe one question since we have limited time. Okay, so I want you to try the questions: question 3, question 4, question 5 from the worksheet, the coordinate geometry worksheet I have given. Uh, the assignment I'm talking about. Okay, so from that you can try question 3, question 4, question 5. If you have already done this, it's okay. You don't need to do it. Okay. Okay, well, now I'm going to mark the attendance. So when I call your name, you can say present. You can write it in the comment section or let me know. Okay. So, Abhyam,
Present.
Hashim, Hashim, Rustan, Rustan, Aika, Ada, Eileen, Isha,
Present.
Eileen, Isha,
Present.
Haifa,
Present.
Ifafa, Nishya, Reynolds, Kaya, Isha, Isha Ahmad, Lubaina, Nafia,
Present.
Ammar, Kenza, Maisa, Mariam, Shaiha, Sidra, Shaiha, Sidra, Shai, Akmal, Lion.
Present.
Okay, thank you. Sil, Zayan, Naif, Rimsha, Zakwan,